Hey there, Alex Kidman here with my really quick, really simple review of the Marchpower 2-in-1 electric toothbrush. Now, I'm not going to show it in my mouth. This is a very quick, simple review because it's a very simple and affordable electric toothbrush. But its big hook is that it's also a water flosser, that you can also add a tank to it and turn it into a water flossing unit, and that it costs under $100 Australian. But is it any good? And the really short version of this is that it's okay for what you pay for it. This is definitely a budget toothbrush. And some of the design choices that they've made don't sit so well with me. Some of the power doesn't sit so well with me. Let's get into it. First of all, talking about the design. And look, most electric toothbrushes try to stay pretty lean. They're going to be fatter than a non-electric toothbrush because you've got to put a motor in there. You've got to put a battery in there. But nobody told the designers of the Marchpower 2-in-1 electric toothbrush this, because it's a chubby little number with a significantly wider grip than any other electric toothbrush I've ever used. And that's primarily because of its 2-in-1 nature and the need to incorporate a water tank that clips onto the base of the toothbrush, replacing the standard base, which is where you get a USB-C port for charging. If it was a regular thin style, you simply wouldn't be able to have as much water, or it would need to be ridiculously tall to accommodate it. Changing things up, whether you're changing the bases out or changing the heads or changing the brushing power, is all simple enough. And this is good because you only get a simple little pamphlet and a wet bag with it in the box. Again, this is all in service to the fact that this is a reasonably affordable unit. But what's it actually like to use? I've been testing it out for the past couple of weeks, and my observations of it, well, look, I'm going to split them between the toothbrush and the water flossing parts. Using it as an electric toothbrush is simple enough. There's no app to install. This is not a smart toothbrush in any way. Just a single button which switches between normal, soft, and pulse modes of cleaning with different levels of vibration intensity to each. And my one comment here, relative to other electric toothbrushes that I've used, it's a little bit soft on pressure in the brushing stakes for my tastes. And while over the past couple of weeks it has been brushing my teeth, it has been cleaning them, I very much felt like it's doing a less intense task of it than I've seen from other brushes. Now, for some people that might be a good thing, of course. If you find other brushes to be too vigorous, a softer approach might suit your particular dental health style. For me, I was left wanting a little bit more, which I had to manage by brushing my teeth for just a little bit longer. And you don't always want to spend longer brushing your teeth. On the flossing side, it actually does a lot better, with considerably more pressure brought to bear against any gunk, grime, or food particles lodged between the teeth. My one point of concern here is that it's a thirsty little beast, especially in its default rinsing mode. Marchpower does supply an extension tube so that you could supply even more water than the water base allows for, and I don't think that's coincidental, because depending on your rinsing, flossing style and speed, you're almost certainly going to need to refill it to fully floss your mouth, as I certainly had to. And again, that's more time I've got to put into it. In terms of battery life, Marchpower rates the Marchpower 2-in-1 electric toothbrush as being good for up to 25 days of usage from its 750 mAh battery. You don't really get any kind of clear battery rundown indicator on it, but over the 2 weeks I've used it, it certainly lasted the distance, which does suggest that 25-day figure shouldn't be too far off the mark for most people, at least while the battery is fresh. Obviously, over time that is going to degrade. That's the nature of battery chemistry. In terms of recharging, well, technically it's USB-C, though you'll need your own plug to manage that. You only get a USB-C cable in the box, but I say technically because the connection for the USB-C socket is part of the base that you remove in order to put the water tank in place. And so it's effectively a custom charger that just happens to end at USB-C, but the effect long-term is still the same. Lose or break that base, and you're going to be left with a flat toothbrush that you can't charge at all before very long. So should you buy the Marchpower 2-in-1 electric toothbrush? Well, look, this is a low-cost model that doesn't shy away from the fact that it is a lower-cost model. It certainly feels like it. This doesn't have premium build quality to it. That chubbier shape is not going to suit everyone's hands, and I can't really speak to whether or not it's going to last years and years and years, but I wouldn't put a lot of money on that. However, it does its basic tasks. If you're after a simple 2-in-1 unit that won't break the bank, it's adequate enough, as long as you've got the patience, to deal with maybe a little extra brushing and having to refill its water flossing tank as you go.